完璧などありえない。この世界は不完全だから美しい。
もうバカ何？
俺は海賊王になる。
なんて美味しさなの。
力を渡した時に言ったことを覚えているかい？くれ。違う、そこじゃない。
変態遅い。
Hello and welcome to More Than Hentai, a podcast that is here to show you that anime is far more than just tentacles and catgirls. There's also countless stories of love, loss, laughs, hope, horror, and happiness that are just dying to be found. And I, Brendan White, the Salt and Pepper Senpai, am here to help you find them. More Than Hentai is proudly powered by Audio Technica and Dash Water. Go upgrade your audio and hydration games today. And joining me on this very special episode is one of my bestest buds in the entire world. He's also a returning guest that was last heard on the second episode of More Than Hentai, talking all things Call of the Night. You can find him on them socials at Ben McJ, which is BenMCJ. Benny, you handsome old devil, welcome back to the Riverside studio. How might you be doing?
Buddy, thank you so much for that wonderful intro. It's good to hear your voice and good to see your face, mate. It's always a pleasure jumping on the podcast mics with you. And mate, I'm doing fantastic, and you're looking great,
mate. It's we try. You know, I heard that there was going to be someone very important on the other side of these webcams, so I thought I better have a shower and look a little refreshed and get that energy at a high level. We're recording here on Sunday, the 21st of January of 2024. So. Yeah, the sun's shining, the birds are singing, and life is good. Yeah, bring it in. New year, new hentai, same old good times, though.
It's been a pretty exciting new anime season too, like coming into this new winter January season for anime. It's been really, really cool. I've been jumping on the Crunchyroll and checking out all the previews on all the websites and stuff like that leading up, the last couple of weeks. Man, this season just feels really, really good.
We are eating very well as anime fans. They are serving up so many tasty treats at the moment. And apart from maybe one of the sort of first episode or now transitioning into second or third episodes, now we're moving through January, they've all been pretty good. I've been enjoying everything. I haven't sort of put anything down yet. I've been pushing through and riding that usual 3-episode cycle to see if it's going to be a keeper or drop. But for now, I'm very happy, very content. And Sunday, we get a lot of great drops. Like we had a new episode of MASH today. We had a new episode of Solo Leveling and a ton of other good stuff. That's
I've got to watch my third episode of Solo yet. So I'm looking forward to watching that later this afternoon or this evening. But yeah, man, it's been just a really banger season. And the one I've been waiting for, Braven or Brave Brain Braven or whatever it's called, finally is out, even though it's supposed to have been out like 3 weeks ago. So I'm keen to check that out. I want to see some good mecha action, and that Metallic Rouge I thought has been really, really good as well. So it's just really good eating this season.
Yeah, we are grinning, and winners are grinners. So shout out to all those fantastic studios delivering the goods this season so far, and it's setting the tone for a big 2024 because there's many other big uns on the way. But we don't really need to go. Kaiju number 8, I'm assuming is what you're alluding to. I know that's on your demands of list.
Oh, definitely. I'm very keen for that. I've read the whole manga. I'm all up to date. They're doing the side story in the manga and everything at the moment, and I'm reading that. It's really, really, really fun. I've been reading so much manga lately too, man. It's been my new nightly tradition is just to sit down and read a couple of chapters of a manga, and it's been probably one of the best things, I think. Best way I can describe it is I watched the first season of Jujutsu Kaisen, and it just never clicked with me. I really enjoyed the film with Yuta and Rika and everything like that. Really, really great. But then I tried to watch season 2, and I just, again, still couldn't click. I don't know what it is about the series, but it's just not gelling right for me. It's all these things I love. It's a beautiful shonen. It's beautifully animated. The cast is great. Everything there, but I'm just not forming that attachment. So I've gone back and I've read the manga now for that, and I'm actually all the way up to pretty much halfway through the Shibuya arc now too. So yeah, nearly up to chapter 100, I think, or so on that one too. So getting in there pretty deep now, and enjoying it much, much, much more. So I think I'm ready to now go back and try again with season 2 and rewatch that and try and enjoy the story a little bit better now that I've absorbed the characters via the manga previously. So I'm really looking forward to Kaiju number 8 as well, because the manga is very, very quick paced as well. So I'm hoping that it'll have that same sort of effect and atmosphere that Jujutsu Kaisen does, but with a little bit more of the awesome monster battles and everything else that goes on in it.
Yeah, I'm excited for Kaiju number 8 for sure. And Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, it's my favorite anime of 2023. And I hope now that you're more immersed and across, well, not familiar or across, but like the fact that the manga has sort of sunk its hooks into you, I hope that's going to translate to watching it on screen, because man, it is a special series. And that season, oh my goodness, the hits just keep coming. You feel you get to the top of the mountain as far as emotional discourse and pain goes, and then they're like, surprise, here's another uppercut. So you sort of leave watching it, and I assume reading, I haven't read any of the manga, I assume you're just feeling very battered and bruised constantly, because no one is safe in Jujutsu Kaisen. And that's what I love about that world and the writing and the pacing, because a lot of these shonen, for the most part, that cast of characters, that core group, you feel like they're unkillable for the most part. You know, they're going to face some hardship and adversity, but they'll pull through and all.
There's always that little bit of plot armor. Like if we use My Hero Academia as a good example, is Deku has that plot armor because at the very start of the series, is like, this is the story of how I became the world's #1 hero. So we know he's got plot armor. He's going to be at the end of the series. He's going to be rated as the world's #1 hero.
Yeah, where JJK. No way, no how. You don't know what's happening page to page, panel to panel, scene to scene.
But hey, the writer has now come out and said that, you know, he's got his ending in mind. He's ready to wrap it all up. So I think it's probably going to be like another 40 or so chapters to go, and it'll be all finished. And it'll be, yeah. So I'm keen to get up to date and read all of that. And yeah, then I can just sit back and enjoy the anime.
Hell yeah. It is so good. Listeners, I've harped on it the last couple of episodes, I think, of MTH. Yeah, you got to be peaking Jujutsu Kaisen, especially that second season. Some of the fight scenes and the way it's animated is some of the prettiest / most repulsive things I've ever seen in all the right ways. And it's just so goddamn cool. And
yeah,
I feel this anime we're going to start talking about shortly has some coolness to it as well. It has some fun to it.
This is a lot more lighthearted.
yeah. The tone is very, very different. Don't get me wrong. But if this is your first dance here on More Than Hentai, the way this podcast works is I bring on a new guest, co-host, friend, enemy, anything else in between. Anyone's just interested in trying to tackle some new anime, and I find something that I hope will fit into their wheelhouse based off what I know of the person, their viewing habits and things. We then watch the first episode front to back. The first episode then can get unpacked. Full spoiler, so we are going to be going through plot points of episode 1. Anything beyond that, we're not going to cover. So we're not going to ruin any major twists and turns and big discoveries that happen throughout the season. We're only going to be focusing on the first episode of that, and we're going to talk good, bad, everything else in between, see if we landed on an anime that gets that thumbs up or thumbs down from my co-hosts. And the title in focus for this episode is Shangri-La Frontier, which is a 2017 action fantasy web novel series originally written by Katharina. A manga adaptation illustrated by Ryosuke Fuji, has been serialized in weekly shonen magazines since July of 2020, and even was recently seen taking home a trophy at the 47th Kodansha Manga Awards in the shonen category. A 25-episode anime television series adaptation produced by C2C premiered on Crunchyroll in October of 2023, with 14 episodes currently available at time of recording. Shangri-La Frontier currently holds a score of 7.96 on my anime list, and that's based off 42,000 unique user reviews. And the story is as follows. High school student Rakuro Hizutume, known in the gaming world as Sunraku, enjoys playing poorly made and unbalanced video games known as trash games. His unique hobby leads him to try Shangri-La Frontier, a popular virtual reality game. In an unconventional move, he sells most of his starting gear, retaining only his shorts, a bird mask, and some weapons. As Rakuro delves into the game, he realizes the mainstream challenge it presents. Leveraging skills from his previous gaming experiences, he faces intimidating monsters and gains popularity for his eccentric playstyle, making an impact on Shangri-La Frontier. So we're going to be talking about the first episode, which is what do you play games for? But Benny, let's maybe go general impressions first before we maybe dive into the specifics of the plot beats and how it plays out over that 20 odd minutes. So what's your first feeling? What's your vibe? What's your general takeaways here on episode 1 of Shangri-La Frontier?
I think my first impressions in like just when I booted up the episode to start watching it, so very, very fresh. This is how fresh it is. I watched it for the first time this morning, literally only 3-4 hours ago, and I've already rewatched the episode again a second time. First impressions are very opening with this very cool dragon thing and everything like that. I was like, that was literally my first impression was cool dragon. And then dude in yellow swim shorts with a luchador mask. And I am like, fuck yes, I'm in. This is the stupidity I love about anime is when, you know, and this is also just that gaming culture. And like, as the intro and a little bit more goes on, like it's very, you and I, we've played our fair share of trash games. Many of them we've played together. We've also played, you know, really, really good games and everything like that. So we've been on that sort of on that review spectrum of gaming and everything as well too. So I felt very able to relate to Sunraku very, very easily because it's like I've played these sort of trash games and sometimes I will finish the trash game just out of spite to, you know, really, really beat it and things like that. So I came away from that, just that opening moments, just going, yes, I'm in. You've got comedy, you've got cool action sequences, really, really snappy art style that will be reminiscent to anyone. Like I remember, like the real world picture of him, you know, reminded me like of a Digimon character or something like that.
Yeah,
from those,
I could see that.
Yeah. So like I was getting that sort of animation vibes from, you know, those late 90s, early 2000s, like Cheese TV cartoons sort of things, but obviously a little bit more grown up because there's quite a few grown up jokes going on in the background too. And yeah, I think I wasn't sure how this one was going to go because I saw a preview on it a long time ago. I was like, oh yeah, I'll put that on my watch list because this looks cool. But I'm not an isekai guy, and I was worried this was just another isekai where someone wakes up in another world and it's the same shit. Because generally what happens is there's these overpowered guys that just, the power creep is just ridiculous. So I was not looking forward to it on that side of things, but when you recommended it, I was like, yes, that's on my list. Let's give it a crack. And I was very happy to enjoy what I watched. So yeah.
I love that. Yeah, it's the tone setting done in those opening scenes just hooks you for so many reasons, which you just perfectly explained there. Like it's just absurd. We get this like crazy Godzilla dragon hell beast, and you're like, okay, what's happening? And yeah, why is this guy in his underpants and just a luchador mask? Like, okay, fair enough. I'm all about it. It's funny. It's unique. It's already distinctive compared to like a lot of the isekai because you're like, yeah, are we living in this world? And we find out, you know, spoiler, but not spoiler at all because I read it in the opening. This is a virtual reality based game. Like this dude lives and breathes playing video games every day. He's not getting sucked into this world and trying to save the world in parentheses real life. He's just playing video games and being a typical high school dude. But the opening scenes, super fun, super funny. And just the complete tonal shift where, you feel like, okay, he's saving this princess, this damsel in distress. What is going on here? And then it just flips the script, and we'll talk about that in more detail soon.
Yeah,
but you're like, whoa.
Like, oh, thank you. You've saved us from the Dark Lord. And then he just basically just jumps up and fly kicks her in the face in full slow-mo. And you just see the whole contortion of the face. It's just absolute brilliance. And this is in the opening, 30 seconds?
Yeah. So just the flipped of scripts immediately where you go, okay, we're in a very rich fantasy world. It's going to be a very rails-based fantasy or isekai. And then they're like, nah, joke's on you. Rug pulled out from under you. Completely different. So yeah, general impressions for me is it's fun. It's very well animated. The voice work was Like I've been watching it through completely subbed and then English dubbed today for my rewatch. I prefer the sub compared to the dub at the moment, just because I guess I've been so familiar with
you get used to the
Japanese
different
delivery.
voice. Yeah, exactly.
So it was a little jarring for me transitioning into the English dub today. So I think I'll definitely shift back to the sub version. But overall, still hit the same, still super fun. And yeah, so that cold open just really set the tone and that expectation for the first few seconds. But then, yeah, completely pivots because, yeah, you're seeing, Sunraku defeat this hell beast, very cliched hero moment. But then straight away, he's talking about, I've been waiting for this very moment. You're like, cool, what's going to happen now? And then he leans over to, you think it's the female lead that you're trying to save, Faria. And he leans over and he's like, why don't you join the Dark Lord and go straight to hell where you belong? And yeah, we get this massive, awesome kick animation right to the face.
Super slow-mo. You watch the whole face being contorted as the foot goes right into the mush. And it's so good, so good. And then all of a sudden you just see this like, what's the name of the game? Faria Online. So the pun with the name Faria, because it's a failure of a game. Yeah. I don't know if it's in this, because I didn't watch the whole thing subbed. I went and flicked a cross between the audio tracks a couple of times. But the English cast, they dropped the premise of it being a pun as the episode wears on, and it just becomes more and more clearly that they're saying failure. So, and just some of the naming, we'll get more of the naming puns later, but yeah, it's really just a failure of a game by the sounds of it.
Yeah, so yeah, Faria Chronicle Online is what he's playing. He fly kicks Faria, this blonde damsel in distress, and he calls her the real Dark Lord. And you're like, okay, this is very different and unexpected compared to most fantasy or isekai, because I'm still thinking we're just in a pure fantasy landscape here. But then it cuts to real life, and we see Rakuro, or Sunraku as his gaming handle is known as. He's playing VR in this fully immersive VR gaming space. And then we get some narration from Lindsay Seidel, who does the English narration, gives us a bit of an understanding as far as the broader world, talking about the state of the gaming industry and that there's this steaming top tier garbage as far as these trash games, and the people that love and play those games are known as freaks.
Yep.
And then we find out that, Rakuro Hizutome, he is the trash game hunter. And then we get the opening that just hits hard. It is an absolute banger of an opening. It's one of my favorite opens of 2023, not only just from the song, but also the animation and the fight scenes. It's just...
It's a banger of a tune. I've already added it to my playlists and everything like that. It just absolutely opens in that guitar riff, and then the la 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 la, and then the big at the end of that. It's just it hits really, really, really good. It's just a banger of an opening track.
Yeah, it's a tone setter again. Where Broken Games is the song by FZMZ. They're the band that helms this, and luckily they also do the opening Danger Danger, which cues in from episode 14 onwards. So we're getting some consistency with the track. And it's a thumper. It's just got some heavy metal vibes through in with some big sort of vocals contrasting with the metal. And then we're seeing an assortment of fantasy characters highlighted in the open. So it leads to a lot more questions. We're like, what? That's a giant humanoid bunny man smoking a pipe. And then there's also a giant, a heavily armored person there, and a busty woman with a giant staff kicking ass.
Giant wolf thing, and and the little rabbit girl.
The little rabbit girl, Emul is her name. Love her. She's great. Not going to say anything more
I
than
know
that.
what her name is. Dude, you think I watched one episode? Come on. What do you take me for?
Well, I wasn't sure. You only mentioned that you watched one episode twice this morning. So I'm like, did he go beyond that?
Oh, I was saving it till the end, but I watched more episodes. I'm not going to watch just one.
Yeah, but the opening, really fun, gets you hyped, gets you pumped. And not only mixing in the soundtrack, but overlaying these scenes of the characters, but then also overlaying some awesome combat, some awesome fight scenes in this open. So I'm like, all right, I'm in. My heart's pumping. Like, my blood is also pumping right now. Like, let's go Shangri-La Frontier.
The whole time you got this shirtless bird-headed man running around with twin daggers. It's fantastic. That's the centerpiece of the artwork for like the promo art and all that sort of stuff. Is Sunraku's character is just this bird-headed guy with just in shorts and with two knives, and it's fantastic. And that was one of the things leading up to this. I just want to find out more about this Birdman. I'm keen. I don't know. I want it to be goofy and different and strange. I don't want it to be the same normal isekai tropes. It's very rare for an isekai to get me, and this is not really an isekai, but kind of falls into that same vein. And it's I'm feeling it. I'm really, really, really digging it, especially after just. So far, what we've got so far, I was like, yep, okay, you've got a killer opening with mush to face, like great animation going on, and then killer opening track. You're laying all the groundwork for all the things I love in anime. So let's keep it going, and then to come out of this opening track, we're back in the real world again, and he's taking the game box and all this sort of stuff, and he goes and puts it on his shelf, and you've got the labels on the shelf there saying like, what was it? I can't remember. There's one that says like not trash, really trash, or something like that. And
he's got a grading scale for the games.
and failure just goes straight onto the worst of the worst shelf.
Yeah. So we can see that old Rakuro Hizutome, the trash game hunter, is certainly a trash game hunter. Like, he's got a dedicated shelf just to all this mess. So respect the hell out of him for that. He's waking up after that, getting ready for school. Random scene where there's like butterflies in the house, and we find out that his mum collects butterflies. We don't really get anything more apart from that, but there's just butterflies in the house. We get like a little terrarium.
I'm hoping that leads to something else
on.
later on the series, because you got that. Was it like a rock beetle or something like that in the terrarium? And And he's like, "Hey, mum, one of your butterflies has got out," and blah blah blah, and so he's off out the door and all that sort of thing for that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a throwaway scene, and I hope they play more on that somehow, some way. Love insects, love entomology, so we'll see what happens with all that stuff. We then get introduced to one of the other supporting characters, Rei Seiga, and we find out very quickly that she's got a big old crush on Hizutome, and she's sort of standing. They're already at school now in sort of the hallways, and she's standing just around the corner, giving herself a bit of a pep talk, building up about what she's going to say to Hizutome to build up this conversation and hopefully develop the relationship. Yeah. And she's sort of saying it out loud and also in her head. She's like, okay, I'm going to ask about this.
Oh, I play that game too. All right. Yeah.
So it's clear that she's crushed on him for a while.
It's a pure little piece of slice of life anime that's just been slid in there a little bit of, but I love the fact that she's standing there up against the wall and she's talking to herself to psych herself up, and you actually get shots of other people walking past and going, what the fuck are you doing? So they're actually playing us up like, okay, it's the anime tropes, but then there's like the background characters are going, why are you being weird? So
there's some realness laid in straight over the top.
Yeah, and it works really, really well.
It does, and so you're already like, I'm a slice of life fiend, I'm a romance fiend, so I'm like, all right, we're getting some of this mixed in here with this fantasy landscape. Hell yeah, let's keep rolling. And so she goes to step forward out of the shadows or from around the corner to engage with Hizutome, but just as she goes to say hello, random friend X grabs Hizutome and asks what he's been up to, and there's some more discussion around gaming, and so she misses the boat. She's deflated. My heart broke a little bit for her. The same time.
He beat the trashiest game he's ever played. So
that's it. Yeah. So he starts talking about Faeria Chronicle Online to his mate. Yeah, we find out, the game's buggy as hell and almost impossible to play, and yet somehow he finished it. So you're like, man, okay, this guy's a bit of a gaming lord. So
he knows what's
the context is laid.
Yeah. It was this sort of point where I kind of actually clicked on who his voice was. It's Eric Vale, who is very prolific in the dubbing community. Most notably known for playing Sanji on One Piece, as well as I've forgotten his bloody name. In My Hero Academia, Shigaraki.
Yeah, Shigaraki.
I was right. It was Shigaraki, the villain, the main villain in My Hero. So, Yeah, he's obviously done a heap of other voice acting over the years and everything like that. He's been in the game forever. But I clicked it and I'm like, that's Sanji's voice. It's just pure Sanji. So I was like, oh, that got me really excited again to continue watching it further. And then leading into this next scene, I hear another very familiar voice at the game store.
Yeah. Of Mana Awakami, the owner of Rock Roll, the video game store.
Miss Stephanie Young, another Straw Hat from One Piece, who plays Robin in One Piece. So, and she's obviously been around the game for a very, very long time as well, and has appeared in countless upon countless of. I think she's Midnight in My Hero, if I remember correctly, for the dubs. But like she's been in heaps of stuff as well. So yeah, it's just recognizable voices. But then I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to look at some of these other English cast actors and everything like that. But I also quickly looked up Sunraku's voice for the Japanese is actually Yuma Uchida, who does the voice of Megami from Jujutsu Kaisen. So, and he's actually done a whole heap of other voices, prolific voices and things like that over the years. But that was the most notable one that came up for me instantly, because I was like, oh, well, that relates to something that else I've been looking at a lot recently, something you've been gushing over as well recently too. So yeah, I just thought, oh, look, there's all these little things. I love that. It's something I actually really love about anime is listening to the voice cast and like hearing all the familiar voices. I know there's a lot sometimes where you hear the same voices over and over again, but sometimes I like hearing just the same guys but doing different voices, like the difference between Shigaraki and I can't remember who he played in Classroom of the Elite, the bully guy in Classroom of the Elite, and then Sanji as well as Sunraku here. It's just there's all the different voice differences, and it's like, oh, that's the art of being a voice actor, and I find it incredibly impressive. Even though there's similarities between all of the characters, but they're all uniquely different, and I find that fascinating.
Yeah, it's cool to see these voiceover artists, the amount of layers that they can have on display here. Like you said, playing, going from an antagonist to a protagonist, from a quirky, whimsical drama to something that's terrifying and heart-wrenching. And so seeing and hearing that play out. The
differences between a hero and a villain or a goofy character, you know, so many of them play such different roles. Like the other voice actor, I guess she'd be the female lead, being Ray. I didn't write down her name, but I was like going through her credits. She's only been doing it for like the last 4 years as well. In terms of her voice
Corey
acting
Petit or Corey Pettit. I don't know how you pronounce her surname, but yeah, she's great. She does a really good job with Ray. You can hear and sense that vulnerability and that awkwardness, that you know, high school awkwardness that these kids have got.
It fits that very unique slice of life style that you and I both enjoy a lot too.
Yeah. So yeah, we get introduced to one of, I guess, our first adult characters here with the head of Rock Roll there. And yeah, she's running this game store. But I really enjoy with this when we get introduced to Mana Iwamaki. They do this cool, like it's very video gamey, where they frame her in the shot and we get like an intro card where it's her name and you're getting this pop of color and like a little title plaque around her. And then you get the same with Ray just a few seconds later. So I'm like, I like that they're mixing in video game tropes and familiarity as far as character introductions from video gaming in air quotes real world. I think it's a really nice touch.
Yeah, this is actually where I'm going to highlight this is kind of where I started doing the flipping between audio tracks, because Crunchyroll, for some god awful reason, on the Chromecast app. So if you've got the Chromecast TV with the remote and everything like that, you can install a Crunchyroll app, watch all your anime, which is generally what I do because it's nice and easy and I can do it all there. Unfortunately, for some reason, that app, the subtitles don't work unless you've got it on the Japanese audio setting.
Okay.
So if you put it in English, you can't do closed captions which that's fine. I can watch it without closed captions. That's not a problem. I watch a lot of things without closed captions, but it doesn't actually put the English translations of any physical text on the screen for some reason.
Killer. It's such a killer.
It drives me insane. And so I was like, oh, I swear, because I know if I watch it on my tablet or my laptop, I get subtitles. And I was like, I'll just go switch over to there and everything. And then, oh, look, it works perfectly fine on my tablet. It works perfectly fine on my laptop. It works perfectly fine on my Xbox.
Just not the Chromecast.
just not the Chromecast. So at the moment, Crunchyroll, if you're listening, fix your fucking app. We may continue.
It's miles better than the High Dive app. That's all I got to say. That's a pretty low bar to step over. That High Dive app sucks.
Considering we came from Anime Lab, which was the best anime watching experience available as streaming, which, you know, that ended, 4 years ago now?
Yeah,
when Funimation bought them out. And then even the Funimation app worked better with the language tracks and the subtitle tracks and things like that, and being able to switch between them. Crunchyroll is still playing catch up to something that was working perfectly with Anime Lab 4 or 5 years ago. Crunchyroll needs to pull their finger out. They've got the money behind them to do these things right, and they should be doing it right.
While we're putting some boots into Crunchyroll, my biggest gripe or request would be the ability to only have it highlight, like you be able to select which languages you're interested in. So you only get notifications for English and Japanese or Hindi or whatever it is. But I get annoyed when it's like just updated and you go, oh, that's an anime I love. I didn't know there was new episodes out. And you click on it, it's like, oh, now the Hindi dub's out. And you're just like, I don't care. Stop blocking my timeline out with nonsense.
Yeah. I don't care about the just updated if it's just, it's now you've got a Hindi or a Portuguese dub. Yeah. That's great for people in those markets, but I don't need to know about that.
Yeah, let me select that in my profile options, please.
Add some more profile options, add some more like settings for adjusting the subtitles, so you can adjust like the size of the font or, you know, the background on it sometimes, because God, what is the app I was using? I think it was Amazon Prime. When you're adjusting the subtitles and everything on Amazon
You've
Prime,
got so much customization.
You can customize the size, the color, the opacity of the background, all sorts of things. It's really fantastic. Which, you know, granted, yes, we're native English speakers watching majority of what we watch is native English program, but I still put closed captions on everything these days because I just generally miss things, I guess.
Yeah, and some of the context, like even though that voiceover artist is delivering these lines, it could be interpreted differently, written as opposed to said. So sometimes you see it play out completely different on the sub track as opposed to the dub. So it's good to have that closed caption option. So yeah,
exactly.
Crunchy, please get better.
Yeah, so sorry to hit you hard, Crunchy, but you deserve it at the moment. You've got the money to do things right and do things really well. You should be doing them well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're in Rockroll. We realize that Iwamaki is well aware of Ray's crush on Hizatomi for quite a long while, and first walks in there and you can see Ray scanning Rockroll. And yeah, Iwamaki's like, he's not here yet. Don't worry about it. Yeah. It's all good.
I was just looking for some new games.
Yeah, so it's a cute little high school crush, and yeah, the world can see it. And then as she's standing in the store, we realize that Hizatomi just appears in said store. Yep. Ray, smoke bombs disappeared. She's hiding down an aisle because she doesn't really know what to do or how to encounter this situation. And yeah, Hizatomi walks in. Have an exchange with Iwamaki about Failure and how much of a piece of poo this game is.
And he's there breaking
down. and I love this where he's breaking down Failure, the character, about how she's just the worst and she's responsible for all of the horrible things.
The real villain in the game that you're supposed to be helping. Oh, so good.
So it's great. And yeah, she's like, she does this and she doesn't do that.
She's on the cart and he's like, I left you on a bench and told you to wait there. Why are you on a horse and cart?
Yeah, and somehow ran over a guy and killed them, crushed them under the wheel.
Oh, but
yeah, so we're understanding just how much he despises that game and despises Failure, the character that you're meant to save. And then he goes, there was a line in here that made me crack up where he's like, it was 3 minutes of heaven to put the boot into her. And I'm like, you know, that's a bit uncomfortable, but I'm laughing right now.
Yeah, it in real world context, not great. In cartoon video game world, it was deserved. It's like, this character needs to go.
Yeah, very well deserved. And then they're still talking, and Iwamaki's like, all right, how do you follow up beating the pinnacle of trash gaming? And then she's like, you change it up. You play something good for once.
Play some AAA.
Yeah, we get out of the trash, we get out of the mud. And we play something great. And yeah, she talks about this fully immersive VR. It's got 30 million player base. Shangri-La Frontier, it's the mainstream smash hit. And he's like, well, all right, maybe I will.
I love this. 30 million players can't be wrong. I'm like, wow, she got a good point. I love the artwork that's hanging on the wall that she's pointing to and everything like that as well. As just this beautiful piece of scenery and the sort of thing. And you know, so as you mentioned, this is being recorded on the 21st of January. Power World literally just came out. I spent a good chunk of my day yesterday playing it. The exact same, like looking, that artwork just fills me with the same sort of feeling I had in Power World, and we'll get into a little bit more of it when he actually gets into Shangri-La, the game, where it's just that feeling when you get up to a high cliff and you expand like the scenic rim around you and everything like that, and you can see, oh, what's that off in the distance and this and that and everything like that. And that same sort of piece of artwork, I think it encapsulates that feeling. And because I literally just experienced it with Power World, I was like, man, it's such a good feeling in video games when you get to these little things like, wow, look at all these things I can go do. And it's, that artwork, going back and looking at it, when I watched it the second time, I really, really picked up on that a lot more. And then, would they mention it here that it was made by Utopia, or was that following
that comes in a little bit down the line. It's not too far away. It's in like the next scene. But yeah, the talking about sort of that key art, it reminded me a lot of when they first announced and the media hype up leading to the release of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Same thing, where it's just this sense of scope. And
as I was talking, I was thinking like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom sort of scope.
Yeah. So he commits, makes the purchase, heads on home, and this is where we sort of get a little bit of a backstory of the game. He's at home on his iPad reading up about Shangri-La Frontier, trying to get an understanding of it. We find out that it's a record breaker. We get a bit of the synopses where they're saying a colony of spacefaring explorers have died, but they've left behind a new generation of adventurers. We jump forward a few thousand years and the players are thrust into an open world where tech levels are roughly the same of the medieval era, perfectly blending science fiction and fantasy. So I'm like, oh, that sounds like a game that I actually want to play.
I want to play this game. I want to play this game. And we get into it in the episodes and I'm like, I want to play this game.
Yeah. It looks so fun. One thing I wrote in my notes here is so he commits to it. He goes to play the game, but he puts into his computer like a USB SD card hybrid or something. Like it's not a USB because it goes straight inside the computer.
Thing.
It's a weird shape. I'm like, well, that's fine. And this is where we got the context with the developer, Utopia Entertainment Software or UES as they're known, and they're a global leader in software and hardware, as well as ISP. So they also provide internet services.
Provide your internet services, yep.
And we don't get much more apart from the leader who's seen as a visionary, Sakura Society.
I was going to say, they mention her name and everything like that, and you get the silhouette, and I'm like, that's foreshadowing. That's she's going to play a part later on, whether or not it's this season or next season or 4 seasons from now, she's playing a part in this story.
Yeah, so I enjoy the world building, both in game and in world, where we're getting a lot of context as far as who Utopia are, and we can immediately find out that you could say they're Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft combined. They're a monster, they're a juggernaut, and Sakura is the leader behind it all. And
they were like the leading designer for this VR headset experience or something as well, if I'm not mistaken, and so that they are like the leading top of the thing. So they basically, the way I interpreted it is like Sony's first party studios providing a single player game experience. They are the top level at the moment. So that's what this game.
I wrote in my notes: is this female Hideo Kojima? Question mark. So who knows? But then we see Hizutome after he puts the disc or the puts the game into his computer.
Yeah, the
headset,
the mini flash USB scan disc plus ultra.
Yeah, it sounds right to me.
Yeah.
So he puts that in, and then puts the headset on, then enters into SLF or Shangri-La Frontier if you want to go shorthand or long form, and straight away, the level of depth in the character creation is massive, and it overwhelms Hizutome because he's like, hey, I don't know any of these quality of life features from the trash games. AAA is the best.
Trash. So this is another moment because again, all the characters in when I was watching it on the Chromecast, I was like, God damn it, it's all I can't read it again. So I switch over to the tracks and everything, and I was like, okay, I can see what's going on here. I wasn't missing any important information, but it was just kind of cool to be able to see like what some of the other jobs were and classes and things like that were as he's going through all the little menu options there.
It's very impressive, and like we've mentioned on this podcast or in this episode alone, we've played a lot of video games over the years. We've played a lot of RPGs, so seeing a nice, juicy, deep character creator always tickles my pickle. So I was straight on like, yeah, this is cool. This looks like something that I'd play.
They had to zoom in on the eyes moving back and forth as he was like trying to sort out the distances between his eyes and everything like that, and then the changing the hairstyle and all that sort of stuff. The eyes movement actually threw me a little bit the first time I was watching it, because I was like, in my brain I was like, I've already seen the face getting mushed by a foot to kicking it at the start of this episode. So like, oh no, what's happened to his head? I was like, oh no, he's just adjusting the character.
That's it. Just trying to make it look exactly like him. So from a facial perspective, it looks just like Hizutome or Sunraku, if we want to go his gamer handle. And yeah, he's sort of building out his character, and then we get some more voiceover work from Lindsay Sadel as the narrator, and she's explaining what Sunraku's doing here, and she's saying that this is very unique. Like Sunraku is a very unique playstyle where he's dropping all his armor in place of weapons and luck rolls, and then in the game, you've got the capacity to sell off any gear that you start with that you don't want. So he's going to be starting with 3 times the amount of Mahni, as it's called, MAHNI, which is the currency in SLF.
It's really cool.
And then he's realizing too, because yes, this character now looks exactly like him, and he's known as the trash gamer, he doesn't really want to have his face out there in the world.
Well, it was more along the lines because he was running around half naked. So he's like, I don't want to run. I don't want everyone staring at me. Like, I don't want to feel so self-conscious that I'm running around half naked and everyone can see my face. So, this bird mask is the only thing that's available that I can have as a starting item. So I'll just take that.
Yeah, so scrolls through, finds this bird mask, which is just so absurd, but I'm all for it. So
I love it.
Pair of shorts, couple of daggers, bird mask, no shoes, no socks, nothing on the upper body, just a buff figure, and bird mask, shorts, and a couple of weapons. Yeah, you see him input Sunraku. That's where we find out that he uses the same name in every game he plays, so he's got a bit of notoriety out there in the gaming space. And then you get a bit of voiceover from the gamer. It's like, lay down in a comfortable space, get ready for the experience. And he lays down on his bed and he's ready to rip in. And the game boots up and we get like a Star Wars-esque rolling prologue. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm loving this nostalgia.
Yeah,
but then he's like, to hell with this, and just skips
prologue,
it.
skip.
And it's like, we know players like that.
Many other gamers, we know.
Yeah, I love it. I would definitely listen to it or watch it all because I like
I would too, but the
world building. But so many dudes we know and dudettes we know, they're just like skip.
Skip,
come on, man.
Skip.
Come on, girl.
Ash, David, I'm calling you out right now.
Yeah, I didn't want to name names, but yeah, definitely they're the two I immediately thought of. So
it's them.
Yeah, so we don't get the opening prologue, so we don't get the full ins and outs of SLF. But then Sunraku spawns into this very, very luscious forest, the light rays coming down from the sky. Like, this whole scene is so beautifully animated where they're introducing us to this fantasy world, and we're seeing, light play a part here. We're seeing the vibrancy of the flora and the fauna. And then he's talking about, wow, like limb movement in this game feels just like real life. Like movement is sort of 1-to-1 as far as being able to climb and jump and move around.
Like, oh my God, I can run, I can climb. Yeah. All these little things is like we kind of take for granted in a lot of games these days as well. But he's gets so excited about just how much he can move freely in this world. But it's the same thing. It's like you play a game like, I don't know, I'm just going to use Gears of War because it's the one that comes to mind. You can't jump in that game. And then you go play some other shooter where you can jump. You're like, oh my God, I can jump. And you get really excited about the mundane little things, but they become important to a gamer.
That's it. So yeah, Sunraku's taking all of this in with very open eyes and sort of excitement because, he's like, this is nothing like what I'm used to in all that trash I've been playing for years. So he's climbing up and running around, and he climbs up this massive tree, and he looks in like the draw distance, be able to see this massive, big sort of open green area. He's just in awe of this world that he's now exhibiting in. And we can find out too, he opens up his map. You get like in a video game, you can pop up and get your little, like there's no like HUD that he can see in the game, but he can pop up and check out the map and check out his stats. And we find out that because he chose the Wanderer origin story, it avoids the tutorial completely and it just drops you into this random starter zone. And that's what's happened here.
We should mention as well, when he chose the Wanderer, the reason why he chose it is because it doesn't build on defense or anything like that, but it has a high luck roll.
Correct.
Specifically.
Yeah, so he opens his stat bar and he's only got 3 vitality, but his luck score is 30.
30. Yeah, through the roof.
Yeah, so you can see he's all about luck, and that would then tie into critical chance and stuff like that. So he's a glass cannon in the gaming sense. Yeah. And then Sunraku attempts to take a few steps through the forest, and he's ambushed by an axe-wielding goblin.
Aren't we all? On this journey of life, just axe-wielding goblins everywhere.
Yeah, it's well animated. It's a bit creepy. It's like it's sort of foaming at the mouth. It's an aggressive little green bugger, and it charges at him.
Beautifully animated. I love the monsters, like just the ones we see in the first episode as well. Like I've watched a few extra episodes, like I mentioned before, but it's the monster animation is pretty top tier. I've been really enjoying that too. And even the weapons as well. The weapons look sick, and it's like another reason why I want to play the game.
And like the weapons when they're clashing against one another, and you can see the sparks and the impact, sort of the way it's animated and framed is awesome. So this axe-wielding goblin charges, jumps at Sunraku. He sort of steps aside, swings one of his daggers, slices the goblin in half, and the kill animation is so damn well animated. It's so pretty, and I like that. Yeah, the goblin's cut in half, and you can start to see, I guess, where the blood would be. It's like little block pixels just sort of fading into the ether.
Flickering off, like little flickering lights and everything like that. It's really, really well done. And they use that same sort of animation like with the other bits and pieces as well. Like it's really, really well done how they do the little sprite animation. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, super clean. So this goblin is one shot. He's then leveled up from level 1 to level 2. He picks up the axe that the goblin was wielding, and he realizes that items have durability in this world as well. So you can't swing an item forever. It will break down and need to be repaired and stuff. But then we get this line from Sunraku where he's like, the feeling of diving headfirst into a new world is pure ecstasy. So he is loving life right now. And then we get introduced to another enemy archetype, which is a Vorpal bunny, and it just looks like a little pint-sized badass killing machine because it flies at him, smashes through a tree, and they have this really cool exchange, this really cool fight, and it's so slickly animated, and the way they've positioned the characters and they transition the camera around, it is sexy.
So going back to giving Crunchyroll crap, this time I'm actually going to give them a bit of credit. This little scene with the Vorpal bunny is the first little highlight I saw of the show way back when it first started airing, back when it was in the spring anime debuts. No, not spring, fall anime debuts, I think it was. And I was like, this looks really good. I'll have to put this on my list. I'll definitely have to make sure I check this one out. And it's just one of those ones I never got round to. So, again, kudos to you. Thank you for assigning this one for us to watch. But I remember watch this specific clip with the Vorpal bunny go, this looks really, really cool. I mean, it still kind of looks like an isekai, but I might give it a crack just to see what it looks like. I did add it to my watch list back then.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool fight. It's really pretty. We see a couple of those video game tropes pop in here too, where he lands a critical and you get the critical text pop up on the screen where you've done some juicy damage to the Vorpal bunny. And like I mentioned, I love that they transition the camera around so we get sort of that 360 Matrix sort of vibe. It's not like stop time and he's dodging like that, but just the way it's transitioned to see that sort of one cut battle play out. And there's criticals going off. There's blades getting clashed against one another.
Perfect parry, I think, was one of them as well that he gets at one point in here.
Yeah, so we can see that his trash gaming prowess allows him to know what most enemies would have as far as their move sets and the way they'd come at you and from which directions. And he manages to use that knowledge to stab the Vorpal Bunny sort of through the neck / up into the head. Vorpal Bunny dies. Yep. We then realize that, okay, that was a bit of a tougher enemy because he jumps from level 2 to level 4, and now he learns some new skills. He gets a skill called Flash Counter available to himself in this moment. So I like that there's all these gaming mechanics are getting played out, and it's contrasted in where we get more of the narrator like explaining these mechanics and how it works as far as leveling and learning new abilities and the if-then logic as far as how it happens in video games. So you're like, as a non-gamer, you could watch this and go, okay, understand. I understand these mechanics. It makes sense.
It makes it easy for the audience to digest. And I mean, granted, yes, it's obviously very much targeted towards the gaming sort of audience as well, but you could watch this with, I don't know, your girlfriend or whatever, whoever might not be interested in gaming as much, and they'd be able to follow along quite simply. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that it's got this hand-holding element to it, but it's not arrogant in the way that it's sort of giving you every little breadcrumb. It's just jumping in, jumping out when it feels like we need to add some more context here so you can understand this world more. It's nice subdued storytelling instead of belting us over the head every 2 seconds. So that's really good. And then we get Sunraku realizing that he's yet to experience a single bug. So this is, this is a AAA life.
I love the line here. Is like, oh, that's what AAA gets you. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. I've played some pretty buggy, messy AAA games the last couple of years, bro. But yeah, no, I kind of understood the sentiment. But yeah, my first thought was like, not all AAA, man. Not all AAA.
That's it. He's spoilt right now, and let's see what changes when he shifts to other AAA games. But right now, Shangri-La Frontier is delivering all of the greatness. And then we find out that Sunraku's new goal here is he wants to get his hands on the Vorpal Chopper, which is what the Vorpal Bunnies were using because, they're a bit of a badass.
He's a bit disappointed that it didn't drop the weapon.
Yeah. So he's a bit bummed. And he goes out and grinds. We sort of jump forward a little bit in his playtime, and he's now killed 50 of those bunnies to finally get a set of the Vorpal Choppers. And we find out that he's now at level 12. And then he's like, I should probably use some stat points. And he just throws it all into luck for the most part. So he's still not concerned about that HP. That vitality is still sitting at 3 or so at this time. And he's just all about the luck. And then we find out that the way this world's played out in the game, there's some hub worlds. So there's the starting zone or the first area. It's called First Year, conveniently enough.
First Year.
And then the second area is called Secondil. So you can understand where it's going to play out from there.
I think the third one they mentioned is Thirden or something like that. Yeah, I was like, okay, good puns. I enjoy this. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's interesting because at this moment, the ending starts playing. So we get the ending start to play in the background, which is also a jam. The ending theme is called Ace by Chico. It's a time too. So the opening and the ending, chef's kiss for both of them.
Nice little dance track sort of pop number. On the outro. Really, really, really good.
Yeah, and so Sunraku's like, all right, I'm gonna make my way to this village. To hell with First Year. I'm going to Secondil. I ain't got time for that nonsense. And he starts walking towards this bridge. And then we get showcasing of an area boss known as a ravenous python, complete with a white sexy hairpiece, mind you. And we get some more gaming context where the bottom right corner, it's like, recommended level to attack this boss, level 10. So he's fine on the leveling, but it also says that you should be in a party size of 3.
It's like 3 people or something like that.
Yeah. And he's like, YOLO, I'm doing this myself. He charges in head first and he yells, Shangri-La, as it cuts to Hirazume laying on the bed, smiling his head off, and then it cuts to credits. And you're like, oh, okay, that was enough. I got a bit of a taste. I'm excited. I'm curious what's happening, but then it pulls us back out of credits for a hot second.
Post-credit scenes. I love a good post-credit scene.
We got 1,000 of them, it feels like.
We got about 4,
And we see this giant armored hoss just standing at the exit of the town. Very imposing, very foreboding, giant armored laden person. Just you assume
giant
waiting.
white armor,
waiting whether they be a challenge to actually exit the town, or are they waiting for Sunraku for whatever reason? I don't know, but I'm like, ooh, okay. And then we get these two little cute SLF mini scenes where they tie in, usually just a bit of fun, bit of a throwaway thing.
You get these in anime from time to time. They're great. Like Demon Slayer did them really, really well. Where they did the little chibi animations, post credits, and things like that. And yeah,
and we get some fourth wall breaking in the first SLF mini where Ray appears and she's like, "Hey, you missed the prologue earlier on, so that's fine." So she lets it play out here, and it's very deep and philosophical and talking about, what is the purpose
divinity
of your life,
the divine,
it's the divinity born and all this, and you're like, okay, I like that they went back and gave us that little kernel, even though it might be nothing, it might not mean anything. Then we get another SLF mini where we throw back to Feiria being the absolute worst as far as all the carnage and chaos and death she's caused in that game that that Sunraku couldn't stand.
I love these sort of little things. Like I said, Demon Slayer, Black Clover did it really, really well as well. The Clover clips, I love those too. Before going into the preview of the next episode, which I also love a little preview of the next episode at the end of an anime. But yeah, it's just lighthearted, and especially if you've just watched a really emotionally draining episode of an anime, you get these little lighthearted clips or something like that to boost you back up, and it's like, cool, I'm ready and I'm excited for next week again. I'm keen to see more. Yeah,
it's like going to a concert and they do the encore. It leaves the audience happy. They come out one more song, so you get a little taster here. Sets a good tone. And you mentioned Black Clover, like Furuyasu, who's the writer of Shangri-La Frontier, is also one of the lead writers for Black Clover, funnily enough.
You probably on the anime, not on the manga, but definitely,
Yeah, and also like it's got a similar vibe to That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime, also writer of that. Like Kabuka, who's the director, did Handyman Saito, and most recently sort of Berserk the Golden Age, which is some of the better, low bar of saying recent Berserk stuff, and also Gunbuster, which was fine as well. But so the ending, it ends on a really funny, positive note with the SLF minis, but also it ends pretty hyped, where the last we saw of Sunraku was charging in headfirst to try and fight this giant ass wigged snake.
Yeah, the snake boss, and then you've got this hint of what's to come with this person in the giant white armor. I was like, oh, I wonder what's going to go on there. Slight spoilers, you find out very quickly in the next episode. I won't say what it is, but it's straight away at the start of the next episode. You find out exactly what's going on. But it's the sort of thing that gets you cooking and looking at wanting to watch the next episode. Overall, fantastic first episode, introduction to a new IP style show. I thought it was really, really well done.
Yeah, me too. Like it executed in that 23 odd minutes some really great storytelling, introduced us to a couple of the primary characters.
Executed in 23 minutes what some other animes take 3-4 episodes to do.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say. Like I was thinking about it after I watched it. It's like so many animes, you like it kind of goes against the concept of what this show is, but like so many animes these days, the one episode is not enough to give you a good indication of what the series is going to be. You need at least 2 or 3 to kind of get a better understanding of what's going to happen. And I think this, it breaks the mold. It does it all in one. I mean, even my favorite anime, and I say favorite, it's not the best, but it's, Black Clover, like that first episode, it ends on a cliffhanger, but it doesn't make it it's like, it doesn't have that same, okay, I feel like I've had a complete episode feeling, because that whole little story arc plays out over the course of 3 episodes. So in that regard, I find this is really, really well done. And a lot of other anime need to take lessons from this about really good story writing and telling you how all this sort of stuff should be working.
I agree, man. Like I'm very much of the 3 episode rule, where if it doesn't get you by episode 3, there's a chance that it might not be for you. And that's the gamble with More Than Hentai. We're only just looking at that first episode where
100%.
It's tough for them to give you enough to hook you in that 20 minutes.
Jono, with Kuroko's Basketball, like he didn't like it.
Yeah.
Because he only watched that first episode, and I was like, Kuroko's is great. What's he talking about? I went back and watched the first episode, and I was like, oh yeah, it's not really a good first episode. You really need to watch the first 2 episodes to get the story hook.
Yeah.
You and I will fall for that trap every time because we'll just put on something and we'll binge a couple of episodes. And we're invested into the anime community now, whereas a lot of other people that are coming into it with fresh eyes aren't as much. So it's one of those things. I think it's very rare that we get one of these good first episodes that really hooks you and wants you to come back for a second episode straight away without feeling like you need to come back for a second one.
Yeah, I think Shangri-La Frontier really stands apart for that exact reason, where it's the literal opening and then also the musical opening both just set a tone, get you hyped. You start to get an understanding of this world really quickly. They introduce you to these lead characters
feeling between
really
real world and game world as well, really, really well done. And they're both stylistically very different too. I found that was really, 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 really smartly done. And like, I want to know more about what happens in the real world as well as what's going on in the game world. I want to know about this Utopia boss. I want to know why this mum collects butterflies and rock beetles and things like rhinoceros beetles and stuff like that, and has terrariums. I want to know more about this the girl that's in the store. Is like, what's her invested interest in getting these two crazy kids together, because she knows that she can set this couple up. Like, there's more going on in the real world as well as what's going on in the game world. And then in the game world, it's like, oh, we get to learn all these things, and this game looks like it sounds like and looks like it would be a hell of a lot of fun, and I want to play it too.
Yeah, it's certainly like, it leaves us with so many more questions than answers, but it also leaves us feeling comfortable and confident enough to know what's happening after that first episode. We're like, okay, I get the stakes, I get the characters, I get the world, and I want more of it, but I'm also leaving here with a dozen questions that I know will be answered in future episodes or future seasons. So yeah, C2C really nailed it with the animation, and then Kabuka with the direction as far as the pacing and everything else. I think was really, really well done. And like C2C, the studio behind it, their sort of bread and butter is fantasy. Like they did Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy, which is just entered into its second season as of a couple of weeks ago. Reincarnated as a Sword, which I absolutely loved last year.
I would have watched that one. Yeah.
They did Otaku Elf last year. They did Handyman Saito in Another World. So they know fantasy. They know how to animate and create this interest and this intrigue and this beauty. And yeah, Shangri-La Frontier is stunning. It's funny. It's fast. The fight scenes are awesome. And the characters they've introduced to so far are people that I feel like I can get behind and root for. So yeah. Hat tip to everybody.
Yeah, it's just really, really well done. We mentioned the voice casters and everything as well earlier. So I think there's something a little bit here for everyone to really enjoy. It's kind of like, it's like a Marvel movie. It's easy for everyone to digest and enjoy.
Yeah, it's good. Good popcorn anime, you could say. Yes. And if you're still on the fence about Shangri-La Frontier after this last hour or so of podcasting, if you've enjoyed things like Sword Art Online, Bofuri, Full Dive, the ultimate next-gen Full Dive RPG is even shittier than real life, which is actually
like
a fun, enjoyable one. Konosuba and The King's Avatar are the primary. If you like that, you'll enjoy these types of comps on my anime list. So
it fits very well in with the shonen genre as well. It feels like it's got a lot of the shonen sort of tropes too going on as well. So if you like any of the shonen animes, not so much the darker ones, more on the lighthearted side of things, but I think there's a lot of fun to be had with this. Not just one episode, like I said, I watched a few. The few that I've watched, there's a lot of fun to be had with this, and I'm keen to get caught up to date on it as well. When I'll find time to do that, I don't know. I've put One Piece on a little bit of a back burner now that I've made it to the land of Wano. So, but again, One Piece is. There's a reason why people call it the GOAT. If you can get to the point where you understand what's going on and you can get past the datedness of it, it is that freaking good. So for me to find time and sneak this one in, I think is going to be good. So I'll put One Piece on the back burner. I've got JJK to get through. This is going to be added to my rotation now for stuff to watch. Solo Leveling is cranking out at a rapid pace, and I'm keen for that. Kaiju number 8's around the corner too, man. So
and you need to watch Freerun Beyond Journey's End.
I've watched parts of it, man. It's very slow burn, and I need to be in the right mindset for that. So what was the other one that I was looking at? Oh, Bang Braven. Like that's just come out too. I'm really excited for that because it's a mecha anime. Like it's been a long time since we've had so many good mecha anime. So we've got that Metallic Rouge and Witch from Mercury. Hopefully, will come back for some more seasons too. So yeah, I'm keen for some more stuff this year. But I'm gonna make special time to slot this into my rotation.
That makes me happy. So yeah, I don't really need to ask you then if you're going to continue watching because yes, it's confirmed, listeners, that Benny will continue watching. But we're going to move into the last word presented by our friends over at Japan Crate. Experience Japan through snacks and knickknacks via monthly package drops courtesy of japancrate.com. And while you're there, be sure to use code 8bit15 at checkout. Save yourself 15% and free shipping to anywhere on planet Earth. But Benny, what is your last word or words on Shangri-La Frontier?
That's what AAA gets you.
Yes, indeed. I concur. It is so fun. It is so great.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite new anime of 2023. And now I guess into 2024 with the second half of this first season rolling through. Available right now on Crunchyroll. Benny is available on them socials at BenMCJ. And I am available on them socials at More Than Senpai.
You changed it up.
I know.
I liked it. I saw that sneaky, release, and I was like, I like it. That's a good one. It's a good one.
I was toying with what the handle could be for a little while there, and settled on that one. And we'll see. I'm still feeling it out. It's like new shoes. I'm wearing them in at the moment. See if they feel comfy or if I need to swap back out to an old familiar pair. But who knows? But dude, thank you so much for joining me again here in the Riverside studio. Appreciate you as always.
Anytime, my friend. I'm always excited to watch anime and talk anime.
Hell freaking yeah. But listeners, be sure to check everything we're doing over at videogamesandculture.com. Check out the merch at shop8bit.net. And whether your anime be subbed, dubbed, or still yet to come, enjoy yourself, stay hungry, and much love to all the gorgeous waifus out there. Goodbye.
Stay thirsty.